My name is Elena, and I am a teacher at a local school. I love my job and enjoy interacting with my bright and curious students. Last year, I met John, another teacher who works at the same school. John teaches math and is known for being friendly and funny. We started spending more time together, and I found myself enjoying our conversations and laughter. What I didn't know, however, was that John was a married man. He had never mentioned his wife to me, and I had simply assumed he was single. One day, I received an unexpected phone call that would change everything. The call was from a woman named Olivia, who identified herself as John's wife. She explained that they had been married for 5 years, and she had seen John and me together. Olivia said she loved her husband and did not want to lose her family. She asked me to stop seeing John, and she even shared photos of the two of them together, looking happy. I was completely shocked and heartbroken. I had no idea John was married, and I felt incredibly guilty for getting involved with him. I couldn't believe he had kept this from me. As Olivia pleaded with me to help her keep her family together, I knew I had to do the right thing. I decided to confront John about the situation. When I saw him at school the next day, he seemed surprised that I knew the truth. John admitted that he should have told me about his marriage, but he said he was afraid of losing me. He claimed to love me and begged me not to leave him. However, I couldn't ignore the fact that John had a wife. It wouldn't be fair to Olivia or their relationship. I told John that he needed to choose between us, as I couldn't be with someone who was already committed to another person. John asked for time to think, but I made it clear that I wouldn't wait for him. I walked away from that conversation feeling heartbroken and confused. I cared for John, but I also understood Olivia's perspective. She was a good woman who just wanted to keep her family together. I didn't want to be the reason for their problems. In the days that followed, I tried to focus on my job and time with my friends, but it was difficult to get John off my mind. I missed him, but I also felt strong in my decision. I knew I had done the right thing, even though it hurt. One evening, I decided to talk to my friend Maria about the situation. She listened carefully and reassured me that I had made the right choice. "You cannot be with someone who is married," she said. "You need to take care of yourself." Hearing her words helped me feel better, and I realized that I needed to move on. A week later, I decided to meet with Olivia again. I wanted to support her and let her know that I understood her position. When we met at the park, Olivia was visibly worried, but I assured her that I didn't want to be a problem in her life. We talked about John and their marriage, and Olivia shared her fears of losing him. I told her that she was a strong woman and that she should be honest with John about her feelings. Olivia seemed grateful for my understanding and support. We talked for a long time, and I realized that we were both strong women who loved John in different ways. I decided that it was time for me to make a change and start fresh in a new city. I told my friends about my decision, and they were supportive. "You need to do what's best for you," Maria said. "You'll be okay." On my last day at the school, I said goodbye to my students, who were sad to see me go. I felt a mix of emotions, but I knew it was time for a new adventure. As I packed my things, I thought about John and Olivia. I hoped that they would be able to work things out and find happiness together. I didn't want to be the reason for their family's problems. When I arrived in the new city, I felt nervous but excited. I started looking for a new job, determined to teach again. The teachers at the new school were friendly, and I quickly made new friends. I felt happy to be starting a new chapter in my life. One day, I received a message from Olivia. She told me that she had talked to John, and they were trying to work things out. I felt relieved and replied that I was happy for them. Olivia expressed her gratitude for my understanding. As time passed, I focused on my new life. I made new friends, enjoyed my job, and felt content. I often thought about John and Olivia, and I hoped they were able to find happiness together. I knew that love could be complicated, but I believed that if it was meant to be, it would find a way. One evening, as I walked through the park, I felt a sense of peace and contentment. I realized that I had moved forward and was ready for new experiences. I knew that love would find me again, and I felt hopeful for the future. As I strolled through the park, the cool evening breeze and the gentle rustling of the leaves helped soothe my soul. I couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought me to this point. The roller coaster of emotions I had experienced with John and Olivia had been overwhelming, but I now felt a sense of clarity and inner peace. In the months since I had moved to this new city, I had worked hard to rebuild my life. The transition had not been easy, but with the support of my newfound friends and the focus on my career, I slowly began to heal. Teaching had always been my passion, and immersing myself in the lives of my students helped provide a much-needed distraction. As I sat on a bench, watching the sun dip below the horizon, I couldn't help but feel proud of the person I had become. I had learned valuable lessons about the complexities of love, the importance of honesty, and the strength of the human spirit. While the pain of my past experiences still lingered at times, I knew that I had emerged from it all as a more resilient and compassionate individual. I thought about Olivia and John, wondering how they were faring. I hoped that they had been able to rebuild the trust and communication in their marriage, and that they had found a way to move forward together. Though I had cared deeply for John, I knew that our relationship could never have been, as it would have come at the cost of destroying another family. As I rose from the bench and continued my stroll, I felt a sense of excitement for the future. The past year had taught me that life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and that sometimes the most challenging situations can lead to the greatest personal growth. I was eager to see what new adventures and opportunities lay ahead. Perhaps I would meet someone new, someone who would love me wholly and without complications. Or perhaps I would continue to focus on my career, pouring my heart and soul into shaping the lives of my students. Either way, I knew that I was ready to embrace the possibilities that the future held. As I walked home, I couldn't help but feel a renewed sense of hope. The pain of the past had not been in vain, it had made me stronger, wiser, and more attuned to the nuances of the human experience. I was grateful for the lessons I had learned, and I was ready to take on whatever came my way. Tomorrow would be a new day, full of promise and potential. I couldn't wait to see what it had in store.